I'm back. So this is part 3 of what has turned into like a series or something of me talking about One Piece. So, you know, in my last 2 videos, I pretty much covered the characters and what they're like, their personalities, kind of, you know, skimming the surface basically of who the Straw Hat Pirates are and what they're about, what their goals are, and what they do all the time. And so now what I want to do is get, you know, now that I have that out of the way, what I want to do is tell you some things that may help influence, you know, whether or not you want to actually check this series out. You know, there is some pros and cons to it, and I finally want to get to, you know, to actually say that. So yeah, let's do it. First of all, you know, One Piece is not for everybody. It's a really, really long series. It's so long, you know, the episodes are, I think the episodes are in like the 700s now as far as episodes, and that's daunting. That is a really, really daunting task, and I think it's one of the reasons why a lot of people tend to shy away from One Piece, because the fact that it's like, you know, it's like coming to like the foot of a mountain and realizing that this mountain is like Mount Everest or something and you have to climb it, and you're like, what? No, I'm not gonna do that. And so, you know, I ain't got time for that. But, you know, and One Piece is kind of like, you know, trying to scale Mount Everest. It's a really, really, you have to be committed. You have to be truly invested. And, you know, if you're a person who is not for that kind of commitment to a show, then yeah, One Piece is not for you, because you're probably not gonna get very far in it before you lose interest and you're like, okay, yeah, you know, y'all need to wrap this shit up and get to the end already. And that's kind of the outlook that I think a lot of people have, and so I think that keeps some people, some folks, some anime fans from, you know, even bothering with One Piece, really. And like I said, I mean, I don't disagree with that at all. It is a grave undertaking, but to me, it's worth the ride. Just for the fact that once you're invested in the story, it's going to keep pulling you back. You know, once you develop a bond with the characters and you pick your favorites and see the battles and see the hardship, once you cry your eyes out for certain scenes, you know, you become invested emotionally. And so now, like, even if you're not a consistent viewer, it's like the story keeps pulling you back and you have to check, you know, and see what's going on. But yeah, you know, because of the length and, you know, how long it's been running, a lot of people don't really, you know, want to put in the time that it requires to get caught up and actually figure out what's happening. So yeah, there's that. Another thing that I think kind of turns people off about One Piece is the fact that it has a very unconventional art style. The animation is very cartoony, kind of silly looking, you know, compared to other animes, you know, that have all, you know, not necessarily the same style, but a more familiar style that a lot of people are used to seeing. And One Piece doesn't have that. Like I said, the art style is very unconventional. It's very cartoony. It looks childish, it does, but to me that's part of its charm. And I can only say that after I actually gave it a try myself, because for a long time, and I admit to this, that's exactly why I didn't watch One Piece. I didn't care about the length or anything to it. I just thought the art looked stupid, and I was just like, this looks like it's for kids. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this. It looks dumb. And I couldn't have been more mistaken. You know, I shouldn't have judged an entire series, an entire story based on the art style. You know, yes, the art is unusual. Yes, it looks cartoony, but now as a fan, I can say that that is part of the charm. And honestly, I think that cartoony kind of art style is catching on because you're seeing it a little bit more often these days. Like, to me, Fairy Tail looks a little bit like that. You know, it's not as sharp and defined. You know, it looks a little more cartoony. There's a lot of colors. You know, the characters look, you know, a certain way that they fit into that kind of cartoony art style. My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia is the same way. You know, it has a very a very cartoony feel to it, you know, with the characters, the colors, the style. And so I think that the same, you know, reason that a lot of people didn't watch One Piece is like the same reason that a lot of people do watch these other shows that have similar art styles. And so I'm like, you know, if you can watch My Hero Academia or Fairy Tail and not be bothered by their art styles, then you could watch One Piece and not be bothered by the art style. I personally don't accept that as a valid reason to dislike the show anymore. So, like, you know, when people say that to me, I'm just like, okay. But, you know, so I'm not gonna, you know, bash anybody for their preference. Your preference is your preference. But to me, the art, you know, it's just it's like, you know, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but it's like that particular author or mangaka's, that's their signature, that's their trademark style. And so I can't fault the series for that anymore. So yeah, there's that. But you know, that's just my opinion. You know, that doesn't change the fact that a lot of people still shun One Piece for the way it's drawn. So yeah, that may bother you if you're trying to get into the series. But if you can, try to look past the art style and focus on the story and the characters. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. One of the best things about One Piece is the story and the copious amounts of characters. There's just so many people that you have to remember and keep track of. But usually not for very long. Usually you have to remember people for the duration of an arc, which could be anywhere from 10 episodes to 100+ episodes. But, you know, that's still a fairly short time for you to have to remember all of these characters and all of these players, all these pieces to this puzzle. And, you know, to me it's worth it because, like I said, I love character development, I love character designs, character concepts, and One Piece has some of the best I've ever seen. You know, if One Piece wants you to like somebody, you're gonna like that person, you're gonna love that person, you're gonna want to donate money to that person, you're gonna want to hug that person if you ever saw them. You know, you're gonna like that person. And, you know, on the flip side, if One Piece wants you to hate somebody, you are going to despise that individual. You're going to want them dead. You're going to want their family dead. You're going to want to just see them, you know, in ruin and fail. and that is the kind of, you know, the way the characters are conveyed, that kind of deep emotion that it draws from within the viewer. And, you know, those feelings that you have, you know, like, these people are not real. Like, why am I even feeling this way? It's just the characters are that good and they're conveyed so well. You know, and on another end of the spectrum, you know, if One Piece wants you to cry, you're going to cry. Like, I have, let's see, three times so far in my 4-year One Piece career, I have cried so bad, like, for this series. Like, something happens and it's just, it's one of the most powerful things you could ever see. Like, it's like the next thing you know, just the tears are just flowing. It's like, I can't even right now. You know, One Piece can invoke that kind of emotion from you. You know, it can show you something and you're just like, oh my gosh, that's powerful, you know, or that is so tragic, that is so sad. This is just the saddest thing I've ever seen. And before you know it, like me, you'll be sobbing like a freaking baby and be like, wonder what is going on, why am I crying? But One Piece can do that to you. So if you're a person who likes, you know, character development, you know, conveying of a story, you know, just a plot that makes you feel so much, you know, either happiness, anger, sadness, just anything, you know, humor. The humor is great. One Piece is hilarious. Like I said in my last videos, One Piece is largely comedic. It can be just downright, like, you know, like tears in your eyes funny sometimes. But it's just one of those things, one of those shows that, you know, you can latch on to. And like, I call it being on the boat. With One Piece, once you're on the boat, you're pretty much there to stay. There's no getting off, you know, unless, you know, your patience just kind of runs out with it. You know, you're going to be there until the end of the story. I know I probably will be. You know, even though I myself am not as consistent of a watcher as I would like to be, but you know, jobs and pets and things, responsibility keeps me from, you know, staying up to date with the episodes like I really want to. But I try to keep an eye on the manga, you know, every so often, like once a week, once every 2 weeks, just to make sure that I haven't missed anything crucial. Like, I want to be kept up to date. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what Luffy and the crew are doing now. And so I think it will be that way for a lot of people who will actually give the show a chance, you know. And I hope that this video, or these videos, these 3 that I've recorded now, I hope that they can inspire people to do what I just said, you know, give One Piece a chance. It's a lot to take on, but I don't think you'll regret it. It's a really great show, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan. I have, you know, huge respect for shows that I don't even watch, you know, just for the artistic value and the fact that, you know, if so many people love it, there must be something good about it. And so, yeah, that's my One Piece ranting for today, at least. This video, as I said, is part 3. There may be more One Piece videos to come along in the future, and if so, I hope you guys will check back for them. I hope that you've enjoyed this trilogy of videos that I've recorded today. Please, you know, leave a comment, you know, let me know what you thought. Let me know your feelings about One Piece. If you're a fan, then I give you a virtual high five from my bedroom. Please, you know, give these videos thumbs up if you liked them. Please subscribe. I would super appreciate it. Check out my Facebook cosplay page. I will put the link in the description below. Follow me on Instagram, Mary Mary Cosplay, in all lowercase letters. And I hope that I will see you guys soon for my next video, whatever it may be about. So, until then, bye everybody. Thanks for watching.